Yes, good morning, students, and welcome to the class of Cambridge. We have with us here Lakshmi ma'am. Good morning, Lakshmi ma'am, and a warm welcome to you, ma'am.
Good morning. Good morning, everyone.
Yes, ma'am, you may please start the session.
So it's me again. So I'll be your trainer for the day. And the topic that we are dealing with is teamwork. It's a very, very important topic. And I think the key element, if you're working in any organization, or even if you're in college, or even if you're at home, without teamwork, we cannot do anything. So before we start, I just want to ask you a question. What do you think is the difference between group and a team? So, yes, group and a team. What might be the possible difference? I'll wait for a minute or two. So, when many of you are answering, don't worry. I mean, due to lack of time, even if you're not reading out all the answers, I'll still see all your answers after the session and I'll be getting back to you. There is slight difference between group and a team. So, you need to know what it is. So, I just want to check whether you know it or not.
Yeah, students, you heard that. Please let us know if anybody of you all know the difference between the group and the team. We'll wait for a minute.
Sure, ma'am, sure.
Yes. Anybody who can reply the difference between group and a team. As ma'am has said yesterday, doesn't matter if the reply is wrong, but still at least you are answering. That is the main point.
Oh my God, yesterday I told this, and today you're supposed to follow that. It was not just for yesterday. Even if it
Yeah,
is wrong, it's totally fine. Nobody's going to judge you here. And you have the option to even type it anonymously, right? If you're not confident, then you can even type it anonymously. Nobody knows who is typing.
I'll repeat the question. What is the difference between a group and a team? One student has said a group is a collection of individuals who coordinate their efforts, while a team is a group of people who share a common goal. While,
Exactly.
while similar, the
Perfectly
two
put.
are different when it comes to decision making and teamwork.
Yes, 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 absolutely right what you've said. So group and team, they're like, bunch of people. But group, they may or may not work towards the same goal. They might have similar ideas, but they didn't actually work towards the same goal. But when it comes to team, they all actually work towards the same goal. So that is the difference. So in this unit, we'll be learning teamwork as an employability skill because most of the organization, when you just join there, it's not just you are individually going to achieve everything. It's always teamwork. So every organization pay a lot of importance to teamwork. And even while interviewing you, they'll be checking whether you are a team player or not. You might not even realize, but the questions will be oriented in a way to understand how much you're serious about teamwork. And this session will also tell you how to be an effective team player. So yes, we need to understand what is the importance of teamwork. Okay, so there were like a lot of famous quotes and all regarding teamwork. I don't remember it properly, but yes, talent win games, but teamwork, it wins championships, something like that. So that is true. You know why? Because individual talent may win small things, but when it comes to championship, only teamwork can actually win that. So it's like teamwork is all about how as a group you all come together and there are like common goals, and for organization, be it organization or be it some initiative, to achieve success there will be goals. And five, just example, if five people are there in a team, five of them should have that common goal, they'll share that goal, only then they can achieve success. So you are supposed to actually you are expected to work in a team, and you can display your individual brilliance and expertise, and of course the key word of teamwork is collaboration. It's not individual, just individual work, but collaboration and cooperation. Now, these two words are very important for teamwork. And why is teamwork important at a workplace? What happens is like every place you are actually, coming up with a solution to some problems. So when you work as a team and you work harmoniously, you'll get more ideas. I mean, there will be more ideas and solution, and it will lead to the destination, I would say, in a quicker time. So it will actually, make your team come up with more creative ideas, and working in team is the best thing, and any organization would only want their employees to be best team players, because when they are first team players, then the rest of it will fall in place. So yes, teamwork, individual brilliance is actually not the main aim, but ultimately it's the work, the output. Okay, individual, whatever you do, it's there, but collectively, the collective output is what is going to matter here. And just like we said, it should be like common vision that you have. And even if you have different skills and competency, you actually, you get motivated for your group success. So I'm sure, just imagine these situations when you are in school or you're in college, when there is an exam. Okay, I mean, even in my days, I used to study on my own, but the thrill, the excitement, the impact when you study as a group was totally different. A bunch of you sitting together telling that, did you know, I think this question will come for exam. So the other person will be like, I think I'm, very sure about this question. I can teach you all. And the other, one more member will be like, I don't know this particular question, but I know the other question. The collective effort, okay, that will be magical. It can, create highly impactful result rather than sitting alone and doing something, the monotonous way of working versus team. In nature itself, you can just, watch around how the super organisms like ant, the bees and all, they're working as a team. And individually, do you think that they can work that effectively? No. But I think we humans are wired in a way that we will be mostly trying to highlight us as an individual. But if we humans start working as team, if we explore our potential as a team, we can do wonders. I think the world will be such a better place if we all collectively, we work as a team. So I don't know how many of you know each other from here, because I know all of you are like students. If you've met each other, if you've had a group study, if you've done projects or, tasks together. Just a quick question. In your team, the course that you're doing now, was there any opportunity where you could, form teams and then do some task? Just a quick question. Can you answer that? Whether you formed teams, like all of you attending, how many are there, Janvi, today?
I'm now 300 are there.
300. So 300 of you, how many I mean, from this team? And have you worked together as a team, or leave it? I mean, if you haven't worked from this team in your school days, in your college days, was there any opportunity you could actually work in a team? I'm sure the answer would be yes. Just type a yes and say just one word what your experience was. Awesome, not good. What was your experience? Please type that as a team when you were working. Meanwhile, you type, let me tell you one thing, the paradigm shift that has to happen. We humans, we always say, I did this. I'm the one who performed better. It's me who should get successful. It's me who should move forward. I hope the success just is myself. I mean, I myself will achieve everything. So these kind of lines where, words like I, me, and myself, this has to be shifted to we. We should work together. The victory belongs to us. And we ourselves can actually get out of this issue or achieve success. So these three words should replace the former three words. So just keep in mind. Are they writing answers? I mean, it will take some time. I'll just wait for 1 minute.
Yes, ma'am. They said yes. They
Yeah,
have.
okay, okay. The general answer is yes, right? So
Yes.
I hope there is nobody who's saying no. because
One
if
student says no, one student says no.
so whoever said no, you are missing something very big in your life. It's time you have to, talk to your friends, just form a team and then do something. It can be, since you're from the accounting background, I would say just bunch of you. I'm sure you'll be having a few friends, right? So just talk to them if they are sharing the common interest. Just do a task together. Or let me ask you, when you were a child, you would have played at least some games during your school period. And that is a teamwork, right? Be it kho, kabaddi, or whatever. So teamwork, maybe you didn't realize it, but you were always a part of, some teamwork or the other. At home, if you have siblings, your parents, you will be together if guest is coming. As a team, you'll work, right? One will be given one task, the other will be doing something. So it's never, humans can, even though we are wired to be individualistic, but we always do some teamwork or the other. Maybe you didn't realize it, but it will be there. It's time to just introspect and see what teamwork you've done in your life so far. So, just like I said, human beings tend to be individualistic by nature, but teamwork in the workplace is actually considered as a skill that can be cultivated consciously. Like you can cultivate it, even if so the person who said no, even if you become a part of an office, a workplace, you can cultivate this. So far it's a no, it's fine, but be open to it, because when you start working, because I've worked in the corporate, let me tell you, like we have got clients. For example, I was into the software, like I said. So we had our clients and we had very tight scheduled deliveries of our project. And if one person doesn't cooperate, it will affect the entire team. And you know how we used to motivate each other. Like we will be like, yeah, I'm sure you can do it. Just finish this part. I'll share the other part. Let me, just come back to you. Are you facing issue here? There'll be one leader, one who is understanding. It's not like somebody who's commanding, but for team also there will be one person to make us all align with the same vision and mission of the organization and the immediate goal that we need to achieve. So that way, always be open to cultivate this particular behavior like teamwork. And yes, it can create super organisms like bees and ants. So why not, we humans also start following that? Have you seen how the ants, they walk and then they work as a team? If there is some food lying, how they march towards it, they'll just take it on their back, they'll just go and they'll actually, store it in their place. So, and the bees as well, how they do it, how they find where the honey is, and then they'll just go there. It's not just one honey away from their and honeybee and from their team, away from their team, hiding from the rest of the bees, saying that no, I'll just drink this, honey, and I mean, I'll just drink this nectar. Let others just keep on finding the flowers. No, they are all working as a team because their common goal is there. Their goal is to store it, and then they understand it very well. They don't actually think just to have individual success. They work as a team. So companies, like organizations, they thrive to actually hire such people with such good team spirit. And that will ensure a balance at the workplace. And employees, they won't leave because they love their team. When the team is very good, have you seen people working in the same organization for decades? I know, like I actually had to move for personal reason, but given a chance, I would have still continued in my first organization. But there are people who are still working. Why? Because they are so comfortable with the team and they are together achieving great success. And that team, that rapport is something they are not finding it easy to leave. Maybe that's why. So, teamwork as an employability skill. So, when it is modern workplace, and as we all know, teamwork will be increasing the all-round efficiency and effectiveness. And job interviews are, what they do is the HRs, they will probe the candidates and they will directly or indirectly ask you some questions just to gauge your conviction on what according to you is like, teamwork and how you value it. For example, they might be asking you a couple of like very simple questions which you might not realize. I'm sure if you face this question, have you been a part of any project in college? Now, I asked you the same question, right? Now, the same will be asked by the interviewer. And the answer you give him or her, they'll be analyzing you. If your answer is no, that might be a red flag. Why this person was not a part of any college events, like where they had to work as a team. So, is he or she comfortable working as a team? Now, that is something they would love to know. No matter how good you are technically, how good you were academically, you scored like, first rank in all your classes. Doesn't matter. If you're not a team player, they will definitely think twice before hiring you. So, what role did you play for that teamwork? They would ask that as well, just to know whether you are capable enough to take any leadership role, or are you a follower. They want to know more about it, and they will ask you how did you contribute to its success, so that they know what role you specifically played. Did you go out of the way to make it a success, how you helped the team to make it a success, and how you balanced the team's vibe and everything. They will be checking it. These questions might sound very simple, but remember, when you are preparing for your interview, these questions answers will be analyzed in a different way, leading to teamwork as an employability skill. So it the answer actually what you give can give a hint to them. For example, there are like one question which like how did you work as a team? Okay, so one person is answering. The first answer you can read. Now, I want you to tell me which answer you feel will be favored by the HR or the person who is interviewing them. The first answer is, I've always led from the front on many projects. I've always been a topper. And next one, yes, I've managed a few projects. In some, I was the leader, and in others, I followed the leader and I believed in teamwork. Allow me to give you an example. So, one and two, which one do you think the employer will prefer? You can just type one or you can type two. Don't type one and two, both together. Okay, I'll give you some time. Janvi, let me know if they are typing the answers. It's one or two. They have to choose one. I mean, one of the answers, not option one. Are they typing answers, Janvi?
Yes, ma'am, they're typing. They're typing the second option.
Oh, correct. That is the right one. So I'm glad that you all chose the second option. And let me see how I'll show you how the second option is correct. See, if you chose the first answer, that would have been less appropriate because it just, just see, I have always led from the front on many projects. It's all about I. And I have always been a topper. The person is only highlighting about self. Second answer, you can see that person is like being realistic and being kind. That person is saying that I've managed a few projects. In some I was the leader, and in others I followed the leader. Now, as an employer, if I'm a recruiter, I would definitely go with the second person, even if the second person might not have done that many certifications as first person. But I will definitely go with second person, because here, if the person is a part of a team, he would never fight to be the leader always. He will, if he's good, he'll become a leader, he'll step up. But if he finds somebody else in his team to be good, he'll give that opportunity to that particular person to be the leader. Because for this person, overall, that common vision, the common, the goal of teamwork, I mean, the entire team, the organization is more important than individual success. Individualism is highlighted in option one. Teamwork is highlighted in option two. So I hope you know what to answer when employer asks you. So the second answer is humble and more positive in tone from the company's point of view. So first one is overly proud of his own achievement and just indicates arrogance and egoist attitude. So team formation, like I said, the difference between group and team. So team is like an entity that comes together for a specific project. For example, they can have generally 7 to 10 members, and once the project is achieved, the goal is achieved, they'll disband the team after it reaches the completion. So there are like a couple of steps that are being formed that are being followed for making a team, and psychologist Drew Stuckman's model. It has got 5 stages of group development, and that is considered to be the best example. So, according to him, these are the 5 steps. First is forming. Forming, as the word implies, it's the initial stage where group members come together. And members are, very often very polite and positive, but they're also scared. I'm sure, like, if you are not with your friends, okay, in your college, but outside your college. And if you're working somewhere, like you have just joined an organization and you're put in a team. So if all of you are new to each other, the first thing that you do is you form a team, that formation part. You will be positive that something good is going to happen, but heart of heart, you'll be anxious and uncertain about your roles because you don't know what to do. Right. When the team is newly formed, there is a confusion, and who is the leader, what is the structure, what is the purpose of the group. All these kind of mixed feeling happen in the first stage, that is called as forming. Then comes storming. It's like the group members start to work together. Conflicts might arise at this stage because you all are, see, we are all individuals and we are all thinking wired differently, and we we were actually wired to be individuals, individualistic attitude. But when we form a team, conflicts will arise. That's a positive thing. When you work in a team, fights might happen, but all that matters is how you resolve it. So in the storming phase, this is characterized by competition and disagreements, okay, over roles, who will become the leader, which task will you do? No, I'm not happy with this task. Why is he or she the leader? I'm better than that person. All these kind of conflicts happen in storming. And the group either moves forward by resolving differences or struggles with the challenges. This is a very crucial phase of forming the team. Third one is norming, and here it's like they overcome the conflict. This stage happens after storming, after they overcome the conflict, and the group becomes to establish norms. Okay, norming means the group will establish norms and the members will start to trust each other. Even though there were fights in between, maybe they'll just call for some team meeting, team outing, some bonding. They'll have some teamwork, some team building exercise, or something good will happen. Or maybe there was a couple of positive people in their group who will start trying to erase all the differences and bring people together. So in the norming phase, members start to take up their responsibilities together, and their responsibilities become clear, and they will start having a sense of unity, and they work more effectively together than they would have worked as an individual or just a stage before, in the stage of that storming. Then comes the stage called as performing. Now, performing is a stage where the group is fully functional. Trust me, I have worked in many teams, and this is absolutely right. This is true for all the team formation, and I'm sure you also would have faced it when you formed a team and you sensed storming, then the norming, then comes the performing. And here the team will totally work towards achieving its goals, not just goals, but with efficiency. They'll efficiently try to achieve their goals. Members are motivated, they are now knowledgeable, they start researching, and they're capable of handling tasks without much conflict. The focus, now this part, the focus is on problem solving and accomplishing the objectives. What objective the organization is given, this performing stage is the one where they'll start achieving it. And comes the last option, the last stage, that is adjourning, and a bit tough one. I've done a course from IAMB where we were split into cohorts. We call our batches as cohort, and our cohort, we didn't know what to do. So we got an instruction that we can form a WhatsApp group. So They were giving us all assignments. We didn't know how to do it. We were kind of skeptical whether we'll be doing it in the right way. And later on, when one or two of us actually formed this group. Okay, it was an unofficial, it's just a casual group. And in this group, we started motivating each other. We were like, yes, we can do it. Initially, we started to keep a session for just, meeting. But a lot of arguments happened. Just like, after the forming stage, the storming happened. They're like, no, whom should we invite as a guest? We should invite a women because all of us are women here. We were like, no, it should be gender neutral. A lot of conflicts of interest happened at the storming stage. Then we started, telling each other what the assignments are, what you're supposed to do. One person who finished it on time, they guided the rest of them. They called for a meeting, and in the norming stage, the kind of this happened. I mean, the conflict and all, we overcame that, and then the performing stage came. Oh my God, the assignment submission, the link was active. Everybody was asking who is left out, who is left out, and then they were like, come on, you can do it. That motivation came, and we all submitted our lean canvas, and it was done. And came the adjourning phase, which is the toughest phase, or people call it as the morning stage, because you have to leave. The disband happens. The team is now, when the task is completed, the group disbands, and members may experience a sense of loss, although it will be a mixed one. It will be mixed with a sense of pride as well for achieving the goal that was given to them. So, yes, these five states stand so correct. We still, miss that that entire that teamwork, even though we are there in the group now, and we don't have a common goal right now because we are all busy with our individual life. But when we came together as a team, that was the best time. So I really hope that in your life, you keep getting opportunity to work as a team, because no matter how much you anticipate it to be not better than being an individual doing something, trust me, being in team can do miracles. I'm clearly telling you, it can do miracles. So pooling competencies in a team. So see, like I said, in our group, we'll be having members with different competencies. It'll be diverse competencies. So there will be like several roles that members can play in a team. So in my previous sessions, the soft skill sessions that I've taken, what we usually do is we'll ask a bunch of people, I mean, students to form a team, and we usually mix them and put them in a team in a way that all the friends are not together, because friends, they'll be like, that they won't experience the storming stage and the norming stage, the forming. So all three they'll miss out. So we purposely put them in a team of strangers, and initial confusion, and after that the confusion happens. I'll tell you, when I was mentoring Google's Techstars startup, that program. So there, one of the teams, they were all sitting idle. Now, there only 48 hours were given to finish a project. They had to come up with this one, a viable MVP. Okay, and rest of the teams were all working very hard. They were doing their best, but this team, everybody were maintaining distance and they were sitting idle. So I went and asked them, why are you sitting this way? Why are you not discussing? So one of the person told that, what will we do, ma'am? Anyways, we are not going to win anything. So I was like, why do you think that way? Why are you bothered about the victory? You know that you're a team here. What if one or two of you really want to finish this task? And at least that completion of the task will give you that sense of purpose that you have achieved. So slowly, I started triggering them to work as a team. So the distance reduced. Now they came together, they started breaking the ice, and they started asking each other question. The next thing they did was, you are good at documentation, right? So you start documenting it. You are good at research, you do that. And you're good at communication, why don't you present it tomorrow? So these kind of decision making activities started happening. Then one of them, they all chose to be the leader, and that leader was designing everything, was controlling, helping out everybody. Then I was mentoring them. They were like the second team I was mentoring. And then they suddenly, their confidence levels started boosting. They were like, wow, Like, I am sure, I think we are going on track. We didn't know we have wasted our time. We feel guilty for that. Let us make up the time. करके they started becoming extra active. And the next day, their idea was something related to the dishwasher or something, I remember. So they even called to India Mart and all. And somehow their team did good research. And when the results came, they bagged the second prize. Imagine if, as a team, they were all sitting very distant with each other. All of them individually didn't have the confidence to win. But when they came together as a team, everything changed. Okay. In your life, if you feel something is impossible, just form a team and just do things what you feel is right at that time. I think you might have watched the movie Zindagi Na Milegi Dobara, right? So there, how individuals were different, but when they come as a team, they were doing wonderful things in life. Why don't you all tell me one movie or one series that you think is like, really very well representing teamwork? And after, I'll just, once I stop sharing, I would love to read out. And maybe if there is time, I'll try to play one scene from that movie which depicts teamwork. So I'm sure all of you watches movies, doesn't matter Hindi, English, or whichever language it is, we can, just see and understand. So teamwork, or any video that you saw, which is depicting teamwork in a true sense. So that incident or whatever it is, please type in the chat box. You know what comes to my mind? Suddenly that I remember the Chak De India scene where all the girls in that hockey team, they were so distant, they were not that conflict stage, that I mean storming stage. So suddenly when there was like an attack on their fellow team member, they all united and started beating up them. So that is one scene, just an example that I gave you. So please type the answers. Any movie which according to you shows teamwork in its true spirit, or any series or any particular scene, feel free. Janvi, let me know if some answer starts coming.
Sure, ma'am. One student has said Mission Mangal.
Oh, yes, yes, correct. As you saw in, I mean, I've seen that movie. I think they understood what their mission was, Mission Mangal, and they wanted a couple. I don't remember it properly, but I think Sonakshi Sinha was there. No, that another girl, I forgot her name, who was into that space reduction thing. Okay, she could actually, even the bigger ones, she could actually make it compact and fit everything. She was in
Name
that.
is some Menon. She is some
Yes,
Menon.
yes, yes. She's a Malayali actress. I should have known
Yes.
her. Oh God, I forgot the name. She was there in famous Malayalam movies as well, and even in
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, Kadmini. I know that she's an actress in that movie as well. Yes, the same lady. So they actually, chose the team understanding the competencies, individual competencies. One good with research, one good with space management, or whatever it is. I don't know the right term. So that is a brilliant movie. Thanks for sharing that. Any other answers?
Yes, ma'am. One is Money Heist.
Oh, Money Heist. Oh my
Money
God.
Heist.
We got the perfect leader, the professor, remember? And then Tokyo, or like everybody together. Like, it was a perfect team. Initially, you remember, right, how they used to tease each other, and then when they understood the oh my God, I'm not supposed to, even encourage all these kind of activities, but we're just focusing on the teamwork there. So as a team, when one person fell sick or one was shot, they all came together, started treating them. When one person was against the team, they all united, and they started fighting against injustice. So all these things happened. They started sharing that money that they received, and they ensured that each one of them is like in a proper successful place. So that kind of compassion for the team, initially it was not the case. So you could clearly see that psychological, that stages of forming a team. I'm sure many more answers would have come, but Money Heist and Mission Mangal, perfect examples. Thanks for that. And let's just move on. The rest of the answers, I'll definitely read them. Okay. So, like I said, members of team will have diverse competencies, and when you are in a team, don't try to think that if I get this competency, even though I'm not good at it, let that person not take it, because ultimately only this particular competency will be highlighted. No, don't do that. So, if you're organizing, just imagine if you're organizing a college event, there are several roles that the members can take up, like planning events, managing budgets and funds, and like all these teams, what they do is like such a well-formed team will optimize the team's output. So some more roles they have just given here. Communication, like you have to create posters and creative things and like notices, making announcement, meeting the people, press release, leading the team, scheduling, computing, evaluating, timekeeping. None of the role you can undermine them. It's not like one is, superior or inferior to others. These are all collective ones. One individual cannot take away all the credit when it comes to team. For team, it's always the teamwork that matters and not individual person who come to take the credit. Significance of team spirit. I love this word, esprit de corps. I mean, I don't know the language, but then I haven't learned French, but I'm sure many of you might have. But this particular word, it's like the sense of solidarity and enthusiasm, and these kind of team spirit you'll see in football, in armed forces. And there the team is not like in corporate, you have got for project small teams, right? But unlike that, the bigger ones like in football or like in like armed forces, it's like the entire organization is like treated as one team and they work towards the common goal. For armed forces, it's like protecting the nation, and then football, you all know better than me. So yes, so employers would want to know your ability, your experience, your maturity, and all these aspects had to work in a team. So the feature, I mean, the particular quality that teamwork demands is willing cooperation and effort. Like it's like they have to cooperate. If the team member says that I can't do it, I have got other works to do, you do it on my part. No, that is not cooperation because everybody's working hard. If one of them, if they're sick and the rest of the team members take up their role, that is a different one. But they have to be willing to cooperate and take effort on part of every team member. And shared goal. It's like individuals, they might be lazy, but when they work in a team, they'll have that sense of shared goal that if I don't work properly, this will impact my team. And that is something called as heightened sense of shared goal. And in French, it's called esprit de corps. And so you can actually sense the intensity and passion as well in that. So how to be an effective player? Uh, Effective team player, I think every one of you would want to be. If you haven't been one, it's time. And these are like, every organization would prefer to hire an effective team player. And couple of the qualities that effective team players will have is they're committed. They know that my one action, there'll be like repercussion and it'll affect my team. So I'll stay committed. Result driven, there will be distractions in between, but they'll be result driven and they are clear about their job description. They won't overstep in anybody else's role. Like you have seen, right, in the Formula One race, how that a bunch of technicians will stand there. I don't know if I'm using the correct term. When the race car arrives, if you put this that entire that tire changing and everything in slow motion, you'll say nobody's hitting anybody. They're just doing their job, but collectively it is a teamwork. So be clear about their job description is something that will make a person an effective team player. They won't go and step into somebody else's role. They understand the common goal, what is the ultimate common goal, and they are respectful towards the other members of the team. They know and appreciate the value of teamwork, and they genuinely work with the spirit of collaboration. The spirit of collaboration, very very important. This word collaboration, like I said, can do miracles. Unlike the monotonous, regular, individualistic way of learning or doing things, if you do things with the spirit of collaboration, then like how Mission Mangal happened, all the miracles happen. I'm not saying money heist should happen, but yes, the good things will happen. How to be effective team player, the couple of other qualities: reasonable and principled about leadership issues. That conflict will happen. There will be overpowering people in the team, but if you are also a good leader, you'll still try to convince them in a proper way, but never fight for leadership roles. And every team member should collectively give their opinion as who should be the leader. It shouldn't be individual driven. And believe in merit being the sole criteria. It's not like he or she is related to me, or this person deserves it because he is known to my friend. No, merit should be the sole criteria. Display high morale and motivation. You have to, when it comes to teamwork, morale and motivation is the best part of working in a team. Believe in total transparency. It's not like you hide. There was a scene, I don't know if you've watched Friends sitcom. Chandler, Monica, they all, get lottery tickets. It's a very good scene, okay? And there wasn't actually initially transparency because Monica and Chandler, they were hiding lottery tickets. And it was they, as a team, they all came together. They told that if anybody wins the lottery amount, we'll share it. Now that was the team's common goal. But two of them had extra tickets in their socks, and they're hiding it somewhere. So when you're working in team, total transparency should be there. Take ownership of the entire team's work. It's like if you are the leader, or if you are, you are not somebody who did the mistake in a team, but taking up the ownership of the entire team's work, that matters. And you should not pinpoint that, even though you're in a team, this particular person did the mistake. No, when you're in team, you succeed or you fail. You as a team, it happens, not you as an individual. So you're always open to learning. Yes, you have to continuously learn. There is no age and no degree that can mark something and say that you are qualified. No more learning for you. No, so far it didn't happen. So give a fair hearing to dissent if there is any. So if anybody is having any dissents, you can, just listen to them and genuinely coach, mentor, and give feedback to other team members. And you also be open to the genuine feedback from the fellow team members. That is the beauty of teamwork. So we have kind of, ended this unit, but I would like to show you a couple of videos now. Just a second.
Students, please hold on.
Janvi, am I audible now?
Yes, ma'am, you're audible
Oh,
now.
I'm so sorry. I don't know. I was playing the video and I was asking everyone whether it is audible, and I was worried when there no answer came. So sorry, people. So just a second. I was sharing my screen, right? And let me know when this video is audible.
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, I played it this far. Okay.
Once a manager had a team of around
Is it
Yes, ma'am,
audible?
it's audible.
Yeah.
50 people, and most of them were bright, enthusiastic, and hardworking young people. But the manager had a problem in the team. Individually, everyone is excelling, but as a team, they are not sharing the information with each other, which is very important for the team's growth. Then the manager decided to solve this issue by arranging a team outing. During the outing, he invited everyone to a big room for a game consisting of 3 rounds. He told everyone to blow a balloon which was kept on the table and write their name on the balloon without tampering it. Hearing this, all team members were able to blow a balloon and wrote their names on it. Then he told everyone to wait outside for the next round. After some time, he calls them back to the room. After entering, team members could see there were more balloons without names being added and scattered around. The manager told them they will be given 15 minutes to find the balloon they left behind with their name on it, among the scattered balloons. The first 3 persons who find their balloons will be winners, and the one who pops the balloon will be disqualified. Everyone started searching for their balloons, and after 15 minutes, manager stopped the round as no one was able to identify their balloons. For the next round, the manager told them, if any team member finds a balloon with a name on it, give the balloon to the person whose name was on it. Everyone started searching, and within a couple of minutes, every member of the team had their balloon with their own name on it. After that, manager went to the dais and told, you see, in the second round no one was able to find their balloons as we were working on individual target, but in the final round within a couple of minutes everyone had their balloon with them. That's the power of teamwork and sharing to each other.
I hope the purpose of this video is clear to you, because as an individual, you can, when you want to reach the destination, it might be difficult. But if you are working as a team, it will be easier for you and it will be more beneficial. So one very quick video, just a few minutes more. I mean, this one video will be, summarizing everything that we learned. That's why I'm playing it. Please listen to this.
A small business's success depends on how well its employees work together and work as a team at all levels. Employees who don't work together as a team are less likely to reach business goals and initiatives, and a negative and disruptive environment can develop at work. In today's video, we'll discuss some attributes associated with good and bad teamwork. Before we continue, make sure you hit the thumbs up button and subscribe to this channel for more videos like this. Click on the bell icon to get notified of new videos. Started. A team, or a work team, is a group of people with complementary skills who work together to achieve a specific goal. Members of a working group work independently and meet primarily to share information and ideas. Key characteristics of good versus bad teamwork. Number 1, sharing ideas. A good team shares good ideas and thoughts, while a bad team gossips, talks about problems, and blames one another. A good team learns from its mistakes, shares and uses new ideas, and maintains a positive attitude. Whenever bad teams fail, they tend to blame each other. Number 2, celebrating success. A good team encourage each other and get ideas from one another's successes, while a bad team are always envious of other people's successes. Good teams maintain healthy levels of competition. Bad team members get upset when other people do well. Number 3, commitment. A good team works together to achieve its goals, while a bad team focuses on its own self-interest. A good team knows that commitment is essential to success. A bad team doesn't make any promises. Number 4, taking risks. A good team will take on high-risk challenges, while a bad team will not plan together and lose games. Leaders of good teams are always those who are willing to take risks. The leaders of bad teams, on the other hand, always find reasons not to take chances. Number 5, growth-oriented. A good team helps its members grow, while a bad team does not care about its teammates' growth. Good team members keep each other going because it's their moral duty to help each other grow and do more and more. Teams that aren't good don't help each other grow. Number 6, open communication. Good teams make communication easy. Teams without an open culture tend to fail. In good teams, members are always willing to talk about ideas for improvement, whereas in bad teams, members play dirty games to annoy each other. Number 7, exploring options. As the law of attraction states, what you think becomes real. Good teammates always see opportunities in every situation, while people who are different from them always see problems. Good team members look for opportunities in every situation, while members of bad teams find ways to blame everything around them. Number 8, learning aptitude. Good teams look for ways to learn, while bad teams look for excuses not to learn. Learning is the first step to getting what you want in life, but people on bad teams don't care about getting more information or improving their skills. Number 9, think positively. A good team is made of people who think positively. On good teams, people talk and think positively, while on bad teams, people worry about failing. It is impossible for good things to happen when bad things are discussed and held on to on bad teams. Number 10, negative outcomes. When people don't work well together, it can cause confusion on the team, in the department, and throughout the company. The most common signs of poor teamwork between departments include not sharing the right information and not coordinating each other's needs. Businesses can lose money if they don't solve problems and don't take steps to fix them, such as not talking to each other or not performing as one team. A lack of a clear plan and a failure to clearly communicate goals and expectations leads to bad teamwork. A continuous feedback system on what people have done well and how well they have done it can prevent poor teamwork and failure in a team environment. It is possible to create a productive team and company culture with strong leadership skills and the ability to resolve conflicts in a constructive manner. This concludes the video. I hope you enjoyed it.
So that was like one example that I actually wanted to show you. I'm just, just stopping the sharing option. Yes. So I'm also open to this Q&A. And meanwhile, you type your question. Okay, let me see what all answers. I was curious to know which movie name you gave. Nitya Menon, yeah, thank you. Yeah, so many of you know her name. Yes. Money Heist. CT Mar movie. I am yet to watch Lego Batman. Yes, correct. Nice. So thanks for all the options you have given. Rocket Boys, Panchayat. Yeah, correct. 1983. So yeah, in between I actually logged out. So ma'am, okay, so one person had asked a doubt. So that, I mean, he or she is finding it difficult to be a part of team. So due to past experiences where people were like rude and all. So even though the work was done correctly, so I'm afraid to do teamwork and interact with people around. And I want to participate in teamwork and be a team member and lead the team sometimes. But the fear, trust me, see, bitter experience, bad experience happens to everyone. And when it is toxic, you can leave the team. Nothing is more important than your mental health. Now that is a different, but always the team will be the same way. That is not true. You can, even find team members who might help to bring out the best in you. So if multiple teams you are facing the same issue from multiple teams, then maybe there is something to introspect within you. You can get feedback from them, all of them, like why you are not able to, that person is not able to work with you. Just get feedback, constructive feedback, be open to criticism. And that way, because ultimately it's teamwork. You have done your part correctly, but overall, as a team, what was your contribution? Was there something that affected the team? Just check. And I know, like at times, when you are the odd one out from the team, it might be a bit difficult if they know each other already and they don't want to involve you. That way, it will be like difficult to work in that team, but you try your best to fit in. If it doesn't, then maybe, you can switch your team. But there shouldn't be anything left or pending from your side. Okay, that alone you need to take care of. And there is no need to have that fear and anxiety. You can just be open to that new team, that one team who might help you to bring out the best in you. Just be open to that team. What if you'll find your best people in that team? Just be open to that. And also open to, the criticisms and all. If anybody is giving it, we might see, we humans don't like to be criticized, none of us like. But if there is anything coming, just be open to it. Maybe it is for improving, it might help us be a better person, and being a better person is not a loss for us, right? So no problem. I can totally relate to your experience. I don't know your name, but yes, I do. I can relate. So Gold movie, yes. Examples are all perfectly given. I hope I didn't miss out any questions. And I was talking about superorganism. If you're wondering if there are any superorganisms here, let me give you the example of Infosys, how it was started before we wind up. It's almost, I mean, it's already time, but still, let me wind up with the story of Infosys. My first organization was Infosys as well. So I've seen, I mean, I can totally relate to the story that I'm going to tell you. So to quote, like the senior founder, Narayan Murthy, so I'm just going to quote what he said. When we started Infosys in 1981, we were 7 people, and we put together about USD 250 at current exchange rates. We were short of money, but we were very long on hope. This common vision was shared by other 6 engineers, co-founders, Nandan Nilekani, S. Gopalakrishnan, S. D. Shibulal, K. Dinesh, N. S. Raghavan, and Ashok Arora. It was their common vision that made Infosys the most successful Indian startup ever and established it as one of the world's biggest IT service giants. Today, Infosys employs close to 2 lakh people and has a market capitalization of more than 45 billion US dollars. What got the 7 founders going was their commitment to team spirit and actually, if you see the sentences that Narayan Murthy said, he didn't say that I was the one who did it. I did everything. I owned the bigger share of success. He didn't say that. He has actually mentioned his struggle. He accepted his struggle. He accepted his team members' effort. He said that it was a common goal. And today, you know what their success is. They are superorganism. They are the examples of superorganism. It's just one. There are numerous. I mean, if you watch even football the, cups, you've noticed how they pass on the ball to each other. And they don't actually, go behind the ball and then aim at the goal. No, they'll actually pass on because for them the common goal is more important than individual goal. So you can find many organisms around, and the best example would be the armed forces. How in Vienna they could make a bridge in a number of hours. I mean that was close to impossible, but as a team they had a common goal. They understood the problem, they worked towards it. So nothing is impossible for these superorganisms. What might look as impossible, they will form a team, they'll form it that strong, they'll have that adhesive bond very strong, and they'll do wonders in their life. So if they can do, why can't we? So anybody who had bitter experience in team, be open to positivity in future. Trust me, you will find a team that will bring out the best in you. Just be open to embrace that change. So thank you for this attending this session. The next one is on presentation skill. So I just want you to take a minute break just to assess, just to understand what was told to you. Okay, and meanwhile, I'll just set up the screen for the second presentation. Janvi, is that okay? Let me know when I can start. I mean, just a quick break for them.
Yes, ma'am. Sure, sure. Ma'am,
Yes, Janvi.
ma'am, one example I remember for the teamwork, as you said, na,
Yes.
there was a tunnel collapse in Uttarakhand
Oh, yes,
where
yes, yes.
41 workers
Exactly.
were rescued.
Exactly. And that I don't think a normal human being can ever do that. Those kind of work can be only done by superorganisms, and this superorganism is a result of teamwork. And
Yes.
what the effort they had put in there, that was like, I mean, no, we cannot even imagine. Like we humans, we always underestimate our skills. And maybe, when you are a part of a team and when there is a common goal and the motivation that you get, I think you can even move mountains when you get motivated. We have been underestimating ourselves. We are yet to even, understand our potential, our inner potential. That can definitely, even the Manji, the mountain man, how that individual could actually do it despite not being supported and all. But I think we humans have got that inherent thing within us, and teams, working in team is one way to explore that hidden potential within us that can even make the impossible possible. Yes, very good example, Janvi. Thanks for that.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you. Ma'am, we are good to go for the next session, ma'am.
Yes. Just a second. I'll just arrange the video as well. Here,
Okay.
I'm just sharing my screen.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, done. Just a second. I'm just
Yes.
sharing my screen. I hope my screen is visible. No.
Not yet, ma'am.
Okay. Desktop. Yeah, fine. Is it visible?
Yes, ma'am. Now visible.
So yes, our next topic is presentation skills. So be it your workplace or your college or your school or your home, some function, this skill is going to help you out to stand apart from the rest, because presentation skill is more like communicating your idea with the audience. And if you have proper presentation skill, only then you can effectively communicate your ideas. And we'll be discussing more about acquiring presentation skills and the challenges of delivering effective presentation. Will be deconstructing it, and then we'll be developing strategies to make effective presentation. So yes, I'm very sure you might have already done at least one presentation in your life. I mean, in school, it demands a presentation, right? Or even in college, you'll be demanded to make at least one seminar or webinar from your side, right? So these are the situation, different formats, how you might be made to in your workplace. This is just specific to your workplace, how you might have to give presentations, which you might think that presentation means it's a PPT and then, standing in front of it and then just reading it out. No, it's not presentation. Presentation can come in various format. It can be just an impromptu speech. You are in some gathering, suddenly somebody is asking, why didn't you speak about it? And you suddenly, start speaking about it. That is also a presentation. Okay, you're presenting your ideas, your thoughts to the audience, and delivering a PPT or a multimedia presentation. That is also a kind of presentation. Raising a toast at a social occasion, yes, that is also a presentation. Giving an informative talk, participating in a question answer session. Even when you, participate in a question answer session, there also you're giving your ideas, you're presenting your skills. I mean, you're presenting something about you to the audience. So yes. Effective presentation. So we need to understand the importance of presentation skill. So yesterday I was telling you what is effective communication. Okay, so what is effective presentation? We need to understand that. Now that is like one skill that you can, hold the attention of the audience. So let me, just go one slide back and ask you one question. If you are doing a presentation, what is your secret mantra? Like, what do you think is important when you do a presentation? Okay, just give your answers here. I'll wait for a minute.
Yes, students, you heard the question. Please reply.
Let me know when they type some answers.
Yeah, they are providing. Creativity, confidence,
Yes,
good handwriting, body posture, eye contact with the
exactly.
crowd.
Wonderful, wonderful. They are all, saying the right answers, and I'm so glad they gave these answers. You're absolutely right. So the importance, I mean, actually we'll be coming to these points. Yes, while giving presentation skill, you have to be creative. You have to take care of your body posture. You have to, know the content, research it well, know your audience. A lot of features, a lot of, things actually come into picture. And we need to know the importance of presentation skills. So for that, like to be a good presenter, what all things we need to do? You've already given me the answer. I'm just giving the points that is given here. You need to prepare and practice the presentation diligently. Um, for example, if you are given a topic to present, just going there and standing in front of the PPT, not knowing what exactly you have to speak is not going to help you. You have to prepare and practice the presentation so that you know what is there in the PPT. Something surprising comes in and you don't know that this was a part of it, and you say something contradicting, that won't actually make good sense. Research the topic. Now, the topic will be very vast. Just in case, always be prepared. I always, whenever I take a session, I make up my mind. The audience will ask questions. I'll be researching, I'll give my best. But if they're asking a question which I don't know, I'll give an apology and say that I'll get back to you later. So you have this weapon, you have this astra with you. So never keep thinking that if I go and do a presentation, if they ask me some question and I give a silly answer, what if people judge me? No, not at all an issue. You just research the topic. If something, if they're asking a question which you don't know, you can still handle it. There is a stereotypical line for that. But what matters the most is whether you attempted it, whether you gave your best, whether you're able to follow the points that we are just telling you right now. Organize your points into logical and analytical like framework to meet the demands of the occasion. So there should be a flow. It's like clarity, and then it should be candid and cohesive. For example, the way you begin it, the next one shouldn't be something that should come in the end. And then you go for a slide that should have been the second slide. So you have to organize your points. If you're speaking about your life, you'll start from your childhood. When you start from your childhood, the next thing you won't be talking about your graduation day and then go back to your high school. There has to be like a logical, way to organize your thoughts. Just put it into a structure, a proper one, and then go ahead. Overcoming the fear of public speaking. Okay. Oh my God. Let me tell you, this one, I've seen many people who are afraid, they start shivering. They're very good. How many of you have stage fear? See, it's not a crime. It's a very normal thing. Even famous personalities I've seen, they have stage fear. They are very good otherwise, and even my friends who are very talented, but then they'll push me to go and speak at times. I love standing on stage and speaking more than even this online session that I'm doing. To be honest, if you make me stand on a stage, even if I don't know the topic, if you hand me over a microphone, I'll be very, very happy to speak as long as people are willing to listen to me. I can go on speaking. Okay, so what is there to be afraid of? Nothing here that is mentioned, but one mantra that I'm going to tell you. When I was small, like when I had to guide a friend of mine who had stage fright, I always used to tell that person that go and stand there. And she was like, you know what I do? I'll be counting the number of holes in that microphone. And I was like, why are you doing that? That will only increase your fear. Look at people. They're all human beings. They're all like us. Okay, if they also come on stage, even they'll be scared. It's the same, a general, kind of thing. And fear is good. Little fear is good. It'll help you to become a better person and to give your best. Okay, in that way, I told that person not to count the number of holes on the microphone. Instead, look at the audience, just a mild smile, and then not look at one person in their eyes for long. Now that'll be scary. Move around. Just, wherever you're comfortable, just move around your eyes, just look at all the audience, smile at them, and then continue. And always remember one thing, Nobody in the world is perfect. I mean, if we are having a problem, everybody will be having that problem. Ask anybody who is on stage. Even if I'm saying that I love stage, maybe I artificially build fear so that, I do better. And stage fright is something that you can definitely overcome. Just want to know how many of you have got stage fright. Can you type yes or no whether you have stage fright? Yes or no? Janvi, let me know what is the majority thing.
Yeah. I'm just checking. Yeah, students, please reply. You have stage fear? Ma'am, we'll wait for a minute.
Yeah, sure, sure. I'll wait. I'll wait. No problem. But this is a very crucial question. Just want to understand whether majority of you have stage fright or like majority of you are confident,
Yes.
and be truthful, be
Mention.
transparent. Okay. You needn't actually hide your true self. Nobody's going to judge you here. Stage fright is a very common thing. Doesn't matter if you have one.
The majority are telling yes, they have stage fright.
Oh, no problem at all. If you're having stage fright, then you're attending the right session. I'll be giving you a few tips and tricks as well to remove your stage fright. Like I said, I wish if I could get, just the one who said they have stage fright. What do you do when you're on stage? Where do you look? You look at people or you look at the microphone like my friend used to do, counting the number of whole thing, or look at only one person, or like you get that, sudden your body becomes kind of, the temperature rises, you start shivering, that kind of thing comes. Am I talking it correctly? Yes or no?
And some are saying that they have a lot of nervousness.
Nervousness for what? If you are well prepared or you were not well prepared for that particular thing. If you're well prepared, there is nothing to worry. Always have this, just tell your mind that I know the topic more than the people who are sitting there because I've done the research. I know additional points, so I am confident. With this attitude, if you go, I'm sure you won't. Your stage fright will come considerably, it will come down. And the best way to rehearse, I'm sure everybody will have a mirror at home, right? So you just stand in front of mirror, look into your eyes and speak. If you can look into your eyes and speak, that is the best way to remove fear. Okay, and you are the best person. And it is well to, talk to yourself, not like in front of people. Don't do that at home. You better close the door and do it. Otherwise, people might misunderstand you. Stand in front of the mirror, tried and tested method. Okay, my students have tried and tested this, and I'm very sure it will benefit you. When you want to do public speaking, just stand in front of the mirror and then start talking. You'll know how your expressions are, how your hands are moving. And when you prepare yourself, just begin. I mean, even if things go wrong, you be kind to yourself. You're being, if you're looking at perfection, now this is where people miss out things. I've noticed people tell me that I want to be more perfect before I go on stage. If there is no perfection, then I'm scared. Why should you be scared? There's no 100% perfection for anything. You can't be 100% perfect before doing anything. There will be flaws, and flaws are good. Good. I'm telling you, there was a quote, I think, beauty lies in the eyes of the beholder, and something else also. So doesn't matter. The more you try to chisel yourself and make yourself perfect, the opportunities will slip away. And your stage fright might hinder you from getting amazing opportunities in life. Start with a small crowd. Start with a family gathering or friends gathering, or just call them, and then just video call them and start speaking. And just decide a topic. If it's in college, then arrange for a seminar or something, then start speaking. And if you know the aspects of public speaking, like how you need to move your hands and how you need to do all those things, if you know, then you'll absolutely, do it brilliantly. One more tip is like watch videos of famous orators, like the ones who are good with public speaking. Watch their videos. Like what I used to do is I used to watch Barack Obama, Shashi Tharoor, and okay, name one favorite speaker of yours. Let's try to watch a video of theirs. Can you all type one favorite speaker of yours who according to you is good at public speaking?
Yeah, students, you heard the question. Any favorite speaker of yours? Ma'am, one student says Sandeep Maheshwari.
Okay, from the yes, he's a wonderful speaker. And
Student.
have you seen the way he speaks, the energy level, and how the dialogues that he uses, and how specifically he'll make you feel that he's talking to you. That talk was meant for you. You can relate with the speaker. The modulation, all these things are very, very important. So when you actually, have stage fright, watch what the favorite speakers of yours, how they are doing it. Like I said, this is something you can cultivate. It is not a born quality. In born, people might be having, they are actually watching what is around, they're getting the confidence. Few of them, they might even be wrong. Okay, we are the ones who will be judging them, but at least we should applaud them that they are at least trying. I'll give you an example. We, as a part of one corporate social responsibility, one initiative, we had to train the students of government school, the underprivileged children, the underprivileged schools. So in Kerala, and there the students we trained in Infosys, it was as a part of Catch Them Young. Okay, so there the students that we trained, I don't remember if it's Catch Them Young or something else, sorry. So, and they were like students from international schools in Trivandrum, they all came to Infosys for the final culmination. And now the students whom we trained, we started asking questions. Okay, just imagine they had the broken English, but they had the confidence to come there and speak first. That matters a lot. And everybody was applauding, including the international school students and teachers. They were amazed by the confidence these children had. They were amazing. Despite the grammatical thing, nobody cared about the grammar. Even if they were, giving wrong information, nobody cared about that. Their confidence, their articulation, the way they were speaking, the smile they had, and the body language they had, people were impressed. If they had stage fright thinking that those are international school students, what will I do? No, they didn't even think about it. They didn't think. The overthinking is what leads to the stage fright. You think a lot. What if? What if? Now, these what if is something you need to get rid of from your life. And believe me, talking on stage is the best thing you can do. And if you have not done it yet, it is time to do it. Start enjoying it. Start smiling. When you are confident on stage, people will like you. Sitting there, they will love to watch you and modulate your voice. For example, when you are on stage, if you start talking like this, hello, my name is Lakshmi. I'm today going to speak about presentation skills. And this is the first thing that you need to remember. Are you having stage fright? No. If you talk like this for 1 hour, 2 hour, nobody's going to listen to you. They'll fall sleepy. So what you need to do is you need to learn the art of modulating your voice. Songs. We all love songs, right? Imagine if songs was flat with just one tone throughout, it would have been boring. Songs wouldn't have existed. But songs are existing because of that waves. It goes up, down, different waves together, gives that beautiful masterpiece. Your presentation should be a beautiful masterpiece too. You should modulate your voice. It has to go up, it has to come down. And that is how people, even if they are feeling sleepy, they'll suddenly wake up. When you suddenly, raise your tone, they'll wake up and say something interesting. Lot of tricks are there. If you do that on stage, people will come to you and tell you that, wow, you were amazing. And when you get one feedback like that, there'll be, one person will applaud you, one person will come and criticize you. That is part and parcel of this kind of life. I mean, if you're on stage, mixed feedback will come, but be open to everything. So yeah, let's just, see the content that is written here. I think I got deviated. Stage fright. Now, that is from a crisis of confidence. Lack of confidence causes stage fright. And lack of control over panic. You're panicking. Your body's panicking. Like I said, don't fear fear. Fear at times is good. If you're having the fear, that means it's good. You're a normal human being. Human beings are meant to fear when they do something new. Okay, when you are facing new audience, you're supposed to have a little fear. You can't be Superman or Superwoman all the time, right? So here are some strategies to overcome this fear and develop presentation skills. So please excuse me, this is a session on presentation skill, but my presentation is having a black screen. That's because it's like opening on MacBook like this. I know otherwise this presentation was a well structured and a very good one, but the fonts and all got changed because it's in MacBook. So but that is not an excuse for you all to develop a better presentation than this, okay? So many accomplished people have felt the same way about public speaking. Let's start with Mahatma Gandhi. So he overcame his fear of public speaking and went on to become a lawyer. What does a lawyer do in front of the entire courtroom? They argue, they actually defend, and they fight for the case. Without speaking skill, they cannot do anything. So he became political India. He became father of the country. So how did he do that? Instead of being an introvert and then, just succumbing to his fear, he overcame that and he became a public figure in our country. So Warren Buffett, what did he do? He's an American business magnate and philanthropist. He also had fears. Like I'm telling you, these famous people also had fears. And the people whom you watch in movies who are playing all the roles and saying all good dialogues, when they also come on stage, a few of them will be very shy. Any particular, your favorite personality whom you think might have stage fear, you're free to answer it here. You think that that person is having slight stage fright, because of which that person might feel shy and not able to answer it. Have you noticed some famous personality like that? We are only discussing about personalities who overcame their fear of public speaking, but do you think there are any personalities who are comfortable the way they are but still loved by people? See, they are having stage fright but still loved by people, so it's nothing that people are going to hate you about. People are there who overcame that. They put in effort, they overcame, and they are leading a position which require public speaking. So deconstruct the fear. You're having stage fright. Now ask questions. Why do I fear? What do I fear? Now deconstruct it and deal them one by one. So stage, you're on stage. Now list down the points. What might go wrong? What is the source of the fear? Okay, so your nervousness, that is something a part of your body, but why the nervousness? What do you think might go wrong when you're on stage? Please type. I want variety of answers here. I'll wait for a minute or two. The question is, you need to deconstruct your fear of public speaking. You're on stage, you're having stage fright. What do you think is the cause of stage fright? I mean, what will happen? I mean, what are the questions that come to your mind that is causing this fear in your mind? Let's deal one by one. I mean, these kind of, questions. Nervousness, like I said, little nervousness is good. Your heartbeats will raise. But when you're on stage, when you get that mic on hand, the shiverings should stop. Little will be there. It's okay. Gradually, it will stop. But you have to start. But if you fear and you sit idle, thinking that no, I am nervous, I can't do it, then you'll never prosper. Everybody started with slight fear. Okay, slight, not slight, I mean major fear. Then next time the major fear became, slightly less major, then it's gradually became minor. And later on, you'll fall in love with your stage. During my engagement, it's a personal example I'm giving you. I love stage so much that even during my engagement, I was like, signaling people that, see, lunch is there, you can go there. I didn't have stage fear at all. And my friends had to come and remind me that, Lakshmi, it's your engagement. You should be a bit at least blushing, have some fear. Like, no, I love being on stage. But I wasn't this way before. In my school days, initially, I did have fear, and our friends, we discussed what might go wrong, like what we can do to overcome this fear. All these discussions happened. It took me many years to start loving stage. But even now, before, going on to the stage, my heart beats fast, even though I love the stage. I kind of, sweat, and then I kind of shiver. But when I'm on stage, I forget. I leave my fear behind. And then I walk on the stage. Fear is there. It will push you to that stage, but I just leave it behind and then go. So, Janvi, did anybody answer?
Yes, ma'am, they answered. Some
Uh,
said large crowds. Some said
okay.
how others think about me. Then,
Ha. So let me come to this first one. Large crowd. The larger, the better. Why should you fear? The larger, the better. More people are getting to know the best inside you. And the effort you have put in is like, I love large crowds because it's when it is smaller, my idea is actually going to reach a smaller crowd. It's actually good. The interaction will be better, but larger crowd is not scary at all. I'll give you an example. What I did, it was DTU. Okay, they had a program here in Delhi Technical of University. I was the speaker, and in my life, I never faced that situation. I think in my place, if it was somebody else, they would have backed off because there were thousands of students who were gathered to listen to some influencer, some comedian. And I was going to present cyber safety session to them. And they were all, waiting and cheering for that comedian for whom the entire crowd had come. And that is when I got my slot there. I felt that I was being put amidst hungry tigers. And they'll be like, who is this lady? And I too had these questions. I started imagining things. Who is it? What if they think that why is she giving lecture, boring one? And when I'm supposed to, listen to this influencer do his comedy and all these stand-up comedies. So I was like, I was, framing questions in my mind. So what I did, if there was one girl like who was doing the MC, she was going to give my introduction. I told her not to because I knew they'll definitely do boo and all these things if she gave my introduction, because they'll know that the what they were expecting is not what will be served in a few minutes. So I told her, please don't give my introduction now. They were all talking to each other. They're like, where is it? Where is it? When will it start? I played that that audio yesterday, the one that I played to you, right? I played that audio first, and everybody became silent. And that OLX guy, when he was shouting, these thousands of crowd became silent. That was my trick, how to enter into the crowd. It was like I told you, right? I really felt like they are the hungry lions. What if they pellet stones on me? I even started anticipating that. I was scared. And but slowly, when the crowd started, paying attention, I slowly entered and I said that these are real frauds, and people were like attentive. And later on, I started, asking them questions. I made them take a pledge of being cyber aware netizen. They all started, echoing after me. Thousands of people, when I said that pledge, they started echoing after me. This wouldn't have happened if I tried a different strategy. No matter how many thousands of people are there in the crowd, you can still get their attention if you are creative. Now, public speaking, the stage fright, if you have your own weapons with you, nobody can stop you from doing. Your own fears will back off. My own fears, when I was on stage, I forgot that I was even scared for a moment. I started, usually I take sessions softly, but at that time, thousands of people, all of them, I needed their attention. I raised my voice and I started talking. Despite on mic, I had that authoritative way of talking to get their attention. And then I told them, the quicker you allow me to finish the session, you'll be able to meet the influencer. It started clapping and they were like, I even asked them whether you like the session. Trust me, yesterday you all liked the session, right? They also gave me positive feedback. So be confident about the content that you're having. And you're sure that this will benefit someone. These kind of positive things, you overpower that with the negative ones that are there. Trust me, change will happen. Okay. And if anybody has anybody written fear of being eloquent, they are not able to speak properly, anything like that?
yes, ma'am, they have written.
Acha, okay. No, because these are the answers I usually get. So one thing, like when you're continuously talking, the words might get stuck somewhere. That's a very normal thing. So for that, what you can do is, this is my personal tip that I give people: supercalifragilistic expialidocious. You can Google and see supercali. The rest you'll get just in Google. Just see supercali and try to speak that as fast as possible. Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious. Try saying that very fast. Initially, you'll find it troublesome to say, but when you say this, you'll get that cohesiveness while you speak. At times, the word gets slipped, and the way you speak and all that continuity might not come. So, when you start practicing this, this will increase, really improve the way you speak. It's just some song or some band's name, okay, just a random name. But when you start speaking it very fast, I've noticed that it improves people. So supercalifragilisticexpialidocious. If you were able to, unmute, I would have made a couple of you speak. But I mean, Janvi, are you able to, Google and see the spelling of it? Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious. I wish I could type
Yes.
it.
Yeah,
I'll
just a moment. Let me check. Ma'am, just repeat it once more.
super
Yes.
space CALI Cali space
Supercalifragilistic
expialidocious.
yeah, yeah.
That's actually a song, a very old one. Okay.
Yeah.
It's so it doesn't matter. Trust me, if just it'll help your tongue to repeat the words, to speak. That speaking part, your control over the words will really improve. I can say tongue twisters and all better,
Yeah.
uh,
Shall I
but I
mention
won't.
that, ma'am, in
Yes,
the?
please. You can make an announcement.
Yeah, sure.
Just copy paste it there.
Yeah.
So one by one, we were deconstructing the fear. The first one you said the crowd, and the second one, what was it, Janvi? The one that answer came. Second one,
One
what
moment.
what will people think of me? Now,
Yeah.
one mantra, that one success mantra, I would say. Okay, what I want to give you is people are there to speak. People are there to think. If somebody is thinking odd about you, there'll be 1 or 2% praising you, but you cannot have control over people's thought. So if you start caring about what others think, then it will not let you move forward ever. So the best would be let people talk whatever they want. I am going to do what I'm meant to do. And I'll do it with 100% conviction, hard work, and I'll give my best. This should be your attitude, because when you are 100% sure about your effort, nothing is going to stop you. Not even the people who are sitting there just waiting. Have you attended Indian weddings? The girl and the guy, they tie the nuptial knot, but there will be people sitting and cribbing there that, the lunch was not good. This particular sabji was not cooked properly. I think the rice should have been cooked even better. The girl's makeup is not good. And the boy, oh, he's not taller. See, all these kinds of talks will go on. Doesn't mean that those two people won't get married, thinking of what people will think of them. No, you should stop worrying about what others think. It is their flaw. It is their flaw. They should worry about themselves, not you worrying about what they should think. Okay, so always understand this. And here are some pointers to reduce your anxiety and make the effective, make the presentation effective. Know your audience. Now, that is a very important point. You cannot talk like Shashi Tharoor to class 5 students. He might be speaking in a different way. He's a good orator. That's a different thing. But you cannot speak like that. Okay, you need to understand your audience. You cannot talk about super technologies and all to a very senior citizen who is not used to the technology. So you should understand your audience. You should understand your topic, and then you prepare accordingly, because the ultimate aim is effective communication. It is not to impress people with these jargons, what we discussed yesterday, with words like loquacious, magnanimous, what you learn in IELTS and all. No, you needn't impress anybody. Use simple English, use simple Hindi or Malayalam, whatever it is, whichever language whatever the medium is. Ultimate aim is to interact with the audience, to make them understand your idea. That is your aim. And creativity, everything that comes as a part and parcel of this, be well prepared. There shouldn't be any surprises. Be well prepared. Like somebody said, right? What will people think? Think of all the questions what people might ask. Like if I'm talking about this, what will be the question they might ask? be mentally prepared to answer them. If you don't know the answer, again, nobody is going to shoot you. You can just tell them that I don't know the answer. I'll get back to you later. So rehearse your presentation. Rehearsing will be needed in the initial stages. Later on, rehearsing, like you might become a pro at it, and then you just need to, the time taken to rehearse and all will be very less. But rehearsing the presentation, in a sense, take each slide of your PPT and then just plan, because you need to stick to the time, right? So for that, you need to know how many minutes you'll take for each slide and what will make it very long, what will make it very small. At times, the same session that I take for 1 hour, I'll be asked to wind it up in 7 minutes. It's very difficult for me. What I do is I keep timer. For that kind of presentation, I have to rehearse a lot. The 1 hour, the 2 hour is like very easy for me because I love talking. I can talk something. But for the one that I have to wind up in 7 minutes, you know what I did? The same cyber session that I took yesterday, I actually, converted it into a story, 2, 3 stories which people could relate, because the story was so effective to get into their mind. I used creativity here. I understood my audience. I knew they like it. So I researched, I was prepared, I rehearsed, and I saw whether it is sticking to the time, because there were very senior people there. I didn't have the, audacity to even surpass the time. So I had to rehearse, seek feedback from others. Soon after the session, people actually started coming to me. And of course, I'll need your feedback as well for all the session that happened so far. So feedback is very important. Like I said, it's constructive. Criticism as well. You need to be open to everything, and feedback is going to, help you. Motivation. When somebody says your session was good, that makes you very happy. Yesterday, so many of you were saying that. Really, I was like jumping with joy. I mean, I was so happy to see that, that feedback coming from you people. So that matters a lot. And be passionate about the subject of your presentation. It's not like, see, I cannot do presentation on something I'm not interested about. That will only add burden to me and fear to me. I will talk about something that I'm comfortable, that I know, that I can research, that I can prepare well, that I can add creativity, that will show my strength. So that is what I am, my passion. I can definitely do a very good presentation on that. I can speak, I can engage the audience, I can get their attention. Never claim to know everything. This is what I was telling you. If you don't know something, don't try to answer something wrong. We are not supposed to give wrong answers to people. Instead, politely tell them, I'll get back to you. I need to ensure certain thing. I'll get back to you soon on this. You can take my mail ID or phone number. Practice breath control. When you're on microphone, you have to be very careful the way you hold the microphone, because when you breathe like this will be coming, it will get amplified in the microphone and it will create disturbance. So when you're speaking something, take the microphone a little away from you if you have that breathing issue. And the next point is something that people tell me a lot. I speak very fast. So, you have to speak very slowly. When the time is less and you need to complete a lot of things, you tend to rush. But what I do is like in between, I'll ask people whether they are able to understand it and whether I'm making sense, whether it is boring for them. Yesterday, if you have noted, in between, I was asking all these questions, right? Whether you're able to understand it, feel free to ask questions. So this is how you should be open to your audience, and that will make your presentations effective. So a step-by-step approach to presentation. So there is like, a 5 W word and 1 H question word. So who is my audience? What is the subject you have to present on? Why are you making this presentation? Where are you going to present? When will the presentation be held? And how will you present the matter, or in what format the presentation will be? So all these questions, step by step, deconstruct, prepare well, just go on stage, walk with confidence, tell that I know things, I know more than what, see, not because of, being arrogant or overconfidence, but just if you're that fearful, just remind that I've prepared well. I know I can face the audience. I think I can give them something good, some good subject matter this time. So with this thought, you need to go. And have your weapons. I'll always conceal something in the some story or something different in the presentation so that people will start liking it. Okay, something that will grab attention. And I'll understand the psychology. If it is children, then what I can show them. If it is adult, if it is men, if it is women, if it's senior citizen, what will they love? So I'll, add something in my presentation to grab their attention. So are there any questions? Please feel free to ask questions in between. I mean, this is purely done for you, so you have to, I'm glad that you people told me what your problems are. And if you're not able to find solution, if there are any individual problems that are left out, because so many of you might be typing now, and if we are missing out something, copy paste the same thing and send it again. Okay, so that it comes into our attention. So planning the presentation. So when you plan the presentation, you need to keep certain things in mind, like which format to use for the presentation. Is it like audio, visual, or like whatever it is? So what kind of visual support to use, whether to involve the audience. And you have to be well prepared. I always do a dry run if it's for somebody, some senior officials or somebody who's coming, or be it like any audience. I always see whether like my PPT, because if it's a MacBook, then the HDMI, all this cable connection and everything, you need to, plan in advance. All the glitches, the things might go wrong. You have to, just comprehend them in advance, plan about it. And when everything is foolproof, that is when you'll get the confidence. And that is when fear won't overpower you, but fear will become your friend and push you to perform better. So, whether you involve the audience in the presentation. So this is what I was asking Janvi also before starting the session. I was asking her all the questions. I was, trying to be clear whether they are free to ask questions in between, or whether it's in the end, whether they can unmute. So you have to be clear about the way you're going to present it, and whether in what stage audience has to be involved. I'll tell you a certain example. When you're doing a webinar, and if it's a very time constrained one, and if you're letting the audience speak in between, trust me, they might go on and on telling their experience, which is a good thing, but you might not be able to complete your presentation. So you need to plan whether to involve the audience in the beginning or in the end. So whether to give handouts to the audience, even that you need to decide, and what is the outcome of the, this presentation, and in the end, what all things you're going to give them, everything you need to, plan in advance. Some usual, the usual way you present, but you need to plan it properly. So some useful tips are there. So have a visual map. Always plan in your mind. Like in Game of Thrones, there was one to Cersei, not Cersei. I think somebody was told this advice that there is war going on, but always fight the war in your mind, so that when you see that situation which you least expect, at least you were mentally prepared and you know what to do. So similarly, I'm so sorry. I love, these series and everything. So I might be giving you a lot of example which gets connected to the creative industry. So here you need to create a visual map to organize your ideas and structure your presentation in a logical manner. So ideally, see, before this point, I also tell you, just visually plan your PPT, your entire event, how to start, and what all things are there in which slide. All these things advance you need to know. It shouldn't be a surprise. First point is visual map to help you organize your ideas and structure your presentation in a logical manner. Yes, give a solid beginning. Yes, this beginning matters a lot. I told you, right, in the DTU crowd of 2000, I think 2000 plus 2500 people were there. So in that, a solid beginning played a very important role. I didn't let the person give my introduction. I instead, played that audio. That solid beginning is how I grabbed the attention. You need to grab the attention of the people in pithy middle, and then effective, in between, and then effective conclusion. Conclusion also, you need to be like very careful, and that way you can make your presentation effective. You can even in the introduction, like all the introductions, we actually tell you the objectives of the presentation and the time you will take, and that you already know, and the desired outcomes of the session, that also you can include, and warm-up activities like icebreakers. But here we cannot do that because individually you can text us, but the group activities or breakout rooms we cannot do now. But when you are doing a presentation, and if it is a webinar, or even if it's an offline one, try some activities. I always include these team building activities. They are fun to do. Okay, so please, here, since it's not feasible, it's okay. At home or with your friends, start doing it, and energizers to keep your audience engaged. So some sort of, some games and all will actually help you out. And I'll also give you one tip and trick, which actually works a lot. So I have told you that mirror thing and that supercalifragilistic thing. So next thing would be watch TED Talks. TED Talks help a lot, and YouTubes or like the success stories of famous people, and watch them speak. Watch them, hear the story of struggle. From struggle, how did they come out of it, and then they have achieved something great. So these kind of things keep yourself motivated. And one more thing, keep yourself away from negative people. Too much of negativity is not good. If somebody is there to only criticize you, keep that person away for some time, because you don't deserve to just listen to your criticism all the time. You deserve to know what good person you are, what highly skilled person you are, how your skills can be improved. This is the crowd you need to keep yourself surrounded with. Now, the crowd will also matter, whether they are the ones who will uplift you and bring out the best in you, or whether they are the ones who will push you down and just downtreading you. So you need to decide whom you want to be with, and always try to choose a crowd where they are more talented than you, so that you have somebody to learn from. The crowd should be mixed. Okay, somebody you should be in touch with from whom you can learn. And competition, just keep that thing aside. Compete. That healthy competition is good, but you should compare you with yourself and try to improve. These few things, if you follow, trust me, nobody can stop you. And that's a word. You can mark my word. Just start attempting what I said today, and I'm sure you will be a very good speaker, and you can be a very good speaker. And for the English part, you can read the newspapers, watch the movies, Hollywood movies and all. If the English is what is troubling you, watch the movie, watch the news, read the newspaper, read some books, and all these things. Just mental language. You might be talking to yourself in your mind, in your mother tongue. That is why we are so fluent in our mother tongue. But if you start talking to yourself in English, that will actually help you with the speaking side as well. And to your friend, just plan. I know it is comfortable to speak in your own mother tongue, or some other language which is common to that area. But if English, since most of the presentation, I'm not trying to uplift the English language, but I think for job interview you need to focus on English a bit. Not every company, every organization will be trying to keep that aside. It is a common language, it's a business language. I'm not trying to promote English as such, but yeah, just think of it. Okay, just think in English. Thinking in English for some time will help you for sure. Watch more things and have subtitles also. So when that thing is being said, read the subtitles, and then you try to speak along with that. That will also help you. So in your rough, you have to keep a rough plan and use bullet points, so that while developing the structure, it will be helpful. And your theme should be like divided into various sections, and make the point, like at times a video will help. That is why we are trying to play videos in between handouts or questionnaires or some survey links. That will also be helpful. And how long it will take to finish the session, you can inform the audience in advance. And you can also plan it out so that you can adjust the content to fit into your time slot. Like I said, 1 hour session, same 7 minutes. How to do that effectively, you need to plan. So some useful tips: if you're planning for your presentation, you need to understand that there'll be different sections for your presentation. You need to blend them. Like I said, it has to be cohesive, and you have to blend it with some relevant props and aids like video, audio clips, visual, some questions, or some way, you have to ask the audience some questions. Asking the audience the questions and getting answers from them is like reaffirming that they're listening to you. If nobody answers, that's a red flag. That means people are sleeping. And I'm so happy that you haven't slept yet. That's a good sign. Only a few minutes left and people are answering. Or anybody who's feeling sleepy, please wake up. This was a session on presentation skills. And yeah, plan for some time lag. See, you have to be very careful when you are using technology. When it is an online one, you have to be very careful, because it might not start as expected. At times when I'm on stage, the microphone fails, the battery dies out. So in the meantime, what I do is I'll still try to speak, or I'll try to, calm the audience down, and then I'll start interacting with them if the hall is small enough. So otherwise, just plan for something. I mean, if they can plan, you can plan some backup audio or video, something. You need to anticipate these kinds of last moment glitches and have a backup. Sometimes the session will end soon. So what are the backup videos you can play? All these things you need to plan in advance. As you conclude, it is good to summarize like what all things you dealt in your presentation. It is good to just summarize it so that people understand what you learned. I mean, it's actually good with the retention as well. They'll be able to retrieve what they learned. So feedback, like I said, it's always good to get feedback, and it can be in the form of a Google form, or even verbally they can give you, and they can even, tell you what to improve and all. And use close-ended questions. Like, you shouldn't actually ask audience some question which they might not be able to answer properly about your presentation. It should be an easy MCQ kind of thing as feedback. Okay, so that it is easier for them to just mark it 10 out of 10 or 5 out of 10. They'll be able to, because after the session, obviously the audience will be tired and they cannot actually like paragraphs and paragraphs. We don't expect you to do that, but we'll be happy if you type something extra in the others column. So gathering feedback, you can get the feedback on manner of presentation, clarity of delivery, adequacy of presentation aids, and length of presentation, and scope for improvement. Yes, these things you can just give them some, uh, questions based on that. Connect with the audience. Like I said, when I started the session, I didn't know how to connect with the audience because they had totally different expectation from the session. It was entertainment one they were looking for. You know what dialogue I told them? That I am not a dancer or singer, but the session that I'm going to do today, it might save your lives. And it actually connected with them. So this was my master line. And all these things I was preparing this behind the stage, to be honest, because I was not anticipating this kind of situation. But I didn't have a choice to back off. I had to do that presentation because I know an influencer will come, they'll make you laugh, and then somebody will come dancing and go. That is an entertainment. But I knew there are so many college students who might need my session, and that is why I understood how I could, connect with the audience, and I knew how to, make them under control. And I myself, I knew how to relax and be friendly and not tensed and nervous. And then I greeted the audience with a difference, to be honest. And eye contact is also very important. And when you are doing a session like webinars and all, where cameras are on, and in those cases, there will be like a couple of people whose camera is already on. So focusing on the paper, if you have written something, just looking at the paper won't help you. You have to look at the camera and speak. So that is something you need to take care of, and help the audience relax by giving them ice-breaking activity. Since it's an online one, we don't have the option for ice-breaking activity, although I've been asking you to give some movie names and all. I hope that was an icebreaker. An energizing question, of course. Many of you typed Nitya Menon and Mandana and all I saw. So, and necessary warming up. So that is very much necessary. Kyuki, if your audience is just believing that it is going to be a boring session where the presenter is just speaking on, and I don't have the opportunity to even express certain thing, it is not going to be useful at all. So these are certain tips and tricks. Do not use loud themes or fonts and some gimmicky feature. Though a lot of animations, no, not required, and a lot of floral and all these, smileys and all stuffed in your presentation, not required. Keep it simple. Spelling and grammatical error, and then it should be easy to read, and do not just, simply read from your slide. And you should have back to you screen. I mean, you should know what you're talking about. You should, already prepare it, and you should have the content with you. And even if it's a bullet point, you should know how to elaborate it. And it's like, even if it's a one point on your slide, you should have, stock of inputs with you, examples to tell them, and asking questions will keep your audience engaged. And if you know the names of a few people, for me here, most of you are anonymous because you answer it under the comfort of anonymity. But still, your presentation shouldn't be a one-way oration. It should be an effective communication that will happen only when you interact with the audience and get feedback from them. And you must not lose control over time. And that reminds me to check the, oh, okay, fine. It's sharp 12 o'clock, but we started slightly late. So is it fine if I take a minute or two? I mean, for your questions, I'll just stop
Yes, ma'am.
sharing.
Sure.
I'll just stop sharing the screen. Before that, if you want, I mean, I hope you know what all things we learned in presentation skill, importance of presentation skill, and overcoming fear of public speaking, then effective presentation, how to make it, and step-by-step approach to make presentation, planning it, and gathering feedback, and how to make the presentation. Yeah, that's it. So we've covered pretty much everything. So what are the questions? Has anybody asked any question? Okay, I'm so glad that somebody wrote. Sorry. I'm sharing the screen. Okay, so Nandri ma'am, for the wonderful class, really nice of you. You have changed my mind. Trust me, your mind is a powerful tool. And so far, you have been underestimating your mind. The moment you start trusting your talent, I've noticed one thing. Each of us have got some talent hidden in us. And if we understand that fact and, start respecting ourselves, it's like, what do you want to do with your life? Life is a play or a theater. Do you want to sit in the audience and just watch somebody do something in their life, or do you want to get on the stage and play some part? You are talented. It's just that you need to remind yourself that you are talented. And if you underestimate yourself, you still can, better yourself. This is the time. Today is the day. If you are having some fear, please get over it. At least start. Success won't come in the first attempt, not in the second attempt, maybe in the third attempt. There was a story of a Miss World or Miss Universe, I don't know properly, but she failed 7, 8 times and then she became one. So the more easy you give up, you are missing out the best things in your life. People change. Even the introvert and most, see, being introvert is not at all a bad quality. It's like, you should have a balance. So presentation skill is something you can build. And if you think you don't have it now, it's okay. You can build it later. And in interview skill, the things that we didn't discuss now in the presentation skill, we'll be discussing it in the interview skill. What if even after practicing a lot and we went blank? That means you're fearing a lot. That means the fear in you is holding you back. Like I said, a balance of fear is good. But if you let fear overpower you, no matter how good you are, no matter, after practicing, you are letting that what if questions overpower your mind. That is when you will go point blank. Even if you go point blank, you look at the audience and smile and say, okay, I think I just left one point. Please see, yesterday I was forgetting a few names. I didn't know Rashmika Mandana's name. I went blank, but you people helped me. I asked the audience. So in these cases, when you go blank, you should have some weapons as backup. You can ask the audience. So why don't you share your experience? So far we have discussed so many things. Can you just share your experience? When they start doing that, you recollect where you went blank. Going blank is a human feature. There is nothing extraordinarily problematic about it. These are all normal things, but it will depend on how you handle it. You should have some weapons with you. Okay. So anything else? Body getting numb, very normal. Okay. But like I said, leave that numbness behind. When you go on stage, look at the audience. They're all human beings. They're not aliens. You need to treat them as human beings. And with this attitude, they just imagine they also have the same issue. They'll also be having stage fear. So they are compassionate with us. So they are good to us. Just think this way and smile, make an eye contact and smile. That's it. So anybody else? Good speech, it's useful for us. How we remove that fear? Fear is a gradually, you can remove it. Fear won't just go away in one day or two. You have to, just start doing it. It's like dar ke aage jeet hai. If you just stay behind with your fear overpowering you, then it won't help you out. You have to overcome it and then, just go for it. Just go for it. That is the best thing. Just do it, like Nike says. So there is blackout, what to speak. If there is blackout, I told you, interact with the audience, make somebody else speak, have a backup, imagine that the situation will come. I always have a backup with me. Technology thing, I'll have a person to present. I already discussed with Janvi, if something goes wrong, whether you'll be able to do it. You plan, you foresee all these situations in your mind. I might go blank. So you ask the audience to say something, ask questions. Ask the audience, accept you're going blank. What's the harm? We are all human beings, right? We are not, see, don't treat yourself as a superhuman at this time. What if they laugh? Feel proud. You made them laugh. It's very difficult to make human beings laugh these days. If they laugh, laugh along with them. They'll be tired of laughing at one point. Then you also stop and then get back to the point. That's it. Why should you fear if they're laughing? You also start laughing with them. So, supercalifragilistic. Oh, you people have written it. We love your speech. You can't ask question yesterday. I think it's done, Bug. I don't know. We love your speech. Who has written? Oh, that's so sweet of you. Think of audience. See, somebody has written it correctly. Afreen, think of audience as your friends or your classmates so that you can overcome stage fear. I do this. I don't have stage fear. Perfectly right. So Afreen has also helped us out here by giving tips and tricks here. Class forced me to go on stage and during prayer, totally blank and say nothing. Instead of this, everyone applauds and I feel happy. See, your friends, it all depends on the people who are there in the audience and they all felt happy, right? That's good. See, if I'm missing out anybody's question, please don't mind. Maybe, I'm unpreparedness. Yeah, preparedness will help you out. See, Afreen has, put this answer many times so that we read it out, and that's a good thing. That was a very good tip. Thank you so much. Inferiority complex? No, 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 no need at all. I'm telling you, even they'll be having fear. Just relate to them. That is better. Feeling judged? They'll speak about you today, tomorrow, day after tomorrow, they'll find somebody else to speak about. So it is all temporary. And one thing, okay, maybe during the interview section, interview thing, I'll give you that. Okay, there is a way to assess yourself. I think time up, right? It's already 7 minutes. Or should I take the questions
And
getting blank?
2 minutes, 2 minutes you can take up, ma'am. 2 to 3 minutes.
Okay. It's 16 personalities. There is a thing called as, just a second. Can you just search that, Janvi, 16 just a second, 16 personalities. Before you attend the next interview session, I want you all to, Janvi, I'll send it to you in WhatsApp. Okay.
ma'am.
Please
Yeah.
paste it here. It's a very useful thing. If you have a group or something, please ask these students to take this test.
Okay, ma'am. Ma'am, can you give it now so that I can paste it in the Q&A section?
Yeah, done.
Okay, just a moment.
So in the 16personalities.com, please answer the questions truthfully. But the best part is when the result is in front of you, you'll understand whether you're an introvert or an extrovert, what are your strengths, what are your weakness, and all these things. When you get an answer, you'll feel like an astrologer is sitting in front of you and giving the full life story. But it's better than that, trust me. You'll know yourself better. Maybe it's time to know yourself, know your strength, and which personality type you are. Read the memes about you, get to know the people who are like you, the same personality type. I think you'll be able to, do lot of changes will come. Somebody wrote my name. Is it for
Yes,
good
ma'am.
speaker or?
It is for the good speaker, ma'am.
Oh my God, I thought. Oh, thank you. So Hanisha, Narendra Modi, oh good. Velumani, Thyroid. Oh, my God, Velumani's speech is like, wow. Yeah, Khan sir, yes, brilliant. Alak sir, everyone looks good speaker except me. Come on, anonymous. Don't say like that. Oh, no. If I wish I could hear you. Okay, I'm sure you're a very good speaker and you're just underestimating yourself. It's time to have confidence. Narendra Modi ji, absolutely right. He's also a very good speaker. Vivek Bandra, Sandeep Maheshwari. Yes. So many good names, and you people have got such good people to follow. Nargi, okay. Okay, some other questions are also there. Sister Abdul Kalam ji. Oh my God, such a gem, right? Jordan Peterson, Sandeep Maheshwari. Let me know this when it stops. Okay, I think 2 minutes. It's over.
Ma'am, one example of Sandeep Maheshwari, which they said,
Okay.
I had heard that when he said that during his first session, he had went blank or he had fumbled. He was not
Everybody
confident.
does.
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
exactly. Everybody, see, when they start, they'll have that fear and the fear overpowers. But when they don't stop and continue, that is where the fear mildly goes out. And in the end, fear becomes your friend. To be honest, I artificially build fear at times so that I give some best. I am like worried. I told you, right? At times I don't feel the fear and I'm like, I'm missing fear. A little fear is good for me. And I'll create it so that I'll get the need to perform better. When mild fear is good, it's like totally fearless in case of, session. So if you're feeling fearful, feel happy, you're on track. But don't let that fear control you or pull you back. That means that fear is not your friend. Make fear your friend. That will be better. No, fumble on stage, it's not embarrassing at all. Everybody, see, the rest of them who are sitting there and laughing at you, ask them to come on stage if they're laughing. They won't be able to do it. Everybody on stage, they'll fumble. It's very, very normal. It's human. But in English, I have stage fear. No problem. See, if in your mother tongue, if you don't have fear, that means you're a very good speaker. English, uh, obviously, for job's sake, we are doing this for employability's sake, right? See, enter. It went off a little bit. No problem. No problem at all. Gain confidence 2 to 3 seminar. Fear of typing here. Stage fright. No, you didn't fear typing. I am able to read your message. That means you'll overcome stage fear as all. Vernacular language, no stage fear means you're a good speaker. So don't worry. So I think pretty much I've covered all the questions, right, Janvi? Body language. I mean, everybody has given good answers. So I hope I've covered everything. Did I? Well done. All the answers
Yes,
are good. Yeah, I think perfect.
yes, ma'am.
So yes, we have covered everything. So that's it. I don't want to eat away your lunch time. So people, you are all brilliant, and I'm very happy the way you're responding. Hats off to you. I'm sure each of you will be like very good speaker. You already are, but you will be brilliant speakers. And I'll be clapping for you if I sit in the audience seat. So thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you, ma'am, so much. We have another session. We'll take a break now. We have another session from 1 p.m. to 3 p.m. That will be taken over by Anju ma'am. And yes, students, if you all are waiting for more sessions from Lakshmi ma'am, so stay tuned. Her sessions will be again from 3:30 p.m. to 5:30 p.m. So just stay tuned and wait for the session from 3:30. And now the next session will be from 1 p.m. to 3 p.m.
Thank you. And I missed out Atal Bihari Vajpayee's name and Ranveer and all. So please don't mind, okay, if I didn't read out your answer. From my side, sorry for that. Thank you for brilliant answers. Thank you so much.
Yeah, ma'am, they are waiting for another session of yours. So I have mentioned the
I
timing.
am also eagerly waiting. You people have made me so confident. Thanks to you. You're also helping me out. It's a mutual learning. Thanks for that.
Yeah. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you all. I'll meet you all at 1 p.m. for the next session. Thank you.